Good afternoon, welcome back ladies, gents and Pikachus. This is a personal response to Djel Al-Hassan, our Muslim friend who I have shat on previously for being an absolute retard, but he's back for more. So before I tackle his issue, which was my comments on the Chinese tariffs, the Trump tariffs against China, I just wanted to say, I'm going to be a little bit more generous to you today, Djel, in light of the fact that you are clearly a supporter of the Iranian jihad, and they just had the largest non-nuclear explosion happen by their own hands. They accidentally imported 480 tons of rocket propellant from China and then managed to blow it up while it was hidden at the port, causing this huge explosion and throwing lots of toxic chemicals all over Iran in the water, and now has probably toxified that water, contaminating it so they can't eat any fish. So there's going to be a massive lack of food, and there's going to be political recriminations, and the peace talks are definitely going to stall now. This is what happens when you support a jihadi country which is in bed with Chinese communists. You end up looking rather silly. So I'm not going to go in as hard as I would like to on you today, but let's have a look at your comments. You said to me I am ignorant of economics because of my comments on the Chinese trade tariffs. But let's look at the facts. If I am so ignorant in the ways of economics, how have I got all this stuff? How is it that since I bought all this stuff, even though it's now second hand and it's been sat here collecting dust, its value has gone up? So I could sell everything that I bought in the last 18 months for twice what I paid. How does that make me economically ignorant? Maybe you are extremely biased, being that you are a brainwashed lemming jihad baby, who is also a racist, psychopathic terrorist with a false religion. Maybe that's the reason why you're saying what you're saying. It comes from a place of spite and envy. Because I'm sure you would have absolutely loved to have known 2 years ago, 18 months ago, that you could buy all this stuff super cheap from China and then sell it today for twice what you paid. Wouldn't you love that? Well, you could have done that if you'd have listened to my ignorant economic advice from 2 years ago, 18 months ago. Because everyone else who listened to it, including myself who follows my own advice, we are now in a position where we have stuff we paid virtually nothing for that is worth rather a lot. And the reason it's worth a lot is because, as I predicted in my earlier videos, supply and demand has changed. Now there is zero supply and a huge demand, which means the price of all this stuff rockets upwards. So I don't think I need to say any more. Maybe, rather than bitching and whining like a little crybaby on YouTube in your comments, why don't you come out with some of the evidence of your claims that you've been making for a few weeks now? I've asked you 20 times at least, one thing, just one claim. Just any of your claims, show me one piece of evidence and I will make a whole day's worth of videos about it, and if you are right, I'll give you £1,000. So you won't need to have seen these things coming and had economic literacy. You just need to show me one piece of evidence that proves any of your claims to be true, and I'll give you £1,000. Deal? Otherwise, I think you're talking absolute nonsense. I'm going to call bullshit on every single word that you've said, and I'm going to take every single word that you have said and that you will say in future, because the trend with you is bullshit, my friend, and I'm going to file it in the bin where it belongs with the rest of the worthless trash. So, that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed that and you learned something. God bless you all. Not Allah. Allah is not God. Allah is a false God. God bless you all is the real God that I'm talking about there. Hope you learned something and you enjoyed that, and I'll see you lovely people. Even you, Djel, I have no malice against you, even though I think you are a dumb brainwashed idiot with an envious, malicious soul. I have nothing against you. Maybe one day you'll snap out of it and you'll start acting like an adult. Acting your age, not your shoe size. So until then, have a lovely day and I'll see you next time. Bye now. So once again, Mr. Hassan, that's a very nice theory you have there, list of theories. But until you can come up with some evidence, nobody is going to take you on your word, because your word's obviously not worth very much. So that's all for now. God bless you all. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.